Hello, we are still in Chapter 6, Lesson 5, Application of Percents, and we're looking at example 4. So let's go ahead and read it. It says that a furniture sales associate earned $960 in commission in May. If his commission is 12% of sales, how much were his sales in May? So let's go ahead and highlight the important information. A furniture sales associate earned $960 in commission. So they earned $960 in commission in May. Now this sentence right here, up until the comma, tells us our equation. It says if his commission, so that's the commission, which is $960. If his commission, okay, so we have the commission. Is, now is means equals. 12%, and this is going to be the percentage in the form of a decimal of means multiplication, sales, which would be the total sales here, okay, of the total sales. How much were his sales in May? So this is the entire thing. The commission is the percent in the form of a decimal of, which is multiplication of the total sales here. Okay? Now the thing that we don't know is how much were his sales in May. So we're going to let X equal the total sales. And then we're just going to plug in the information. So what was the commission? The commission was $960 equals the decimal and the percentage, or the percentage in the decimal form. So we have 12%. We need to convert that to a decimal. We move it over 2 places. So that means we have 0.12. Okay, so that would be here 0.12. So 960 is the commission. The decimal is right here, the percentage in the decimal form. And that's going to be multiplied by the sales, and the sales is X. Okay, so we're just trying to figure out what X is, so we need to get it by itself. Right now it's being multiplied by 0.12, so we need to divide both sides by 0.12. What happens is this 0.12 divided by 0.12 ends up being 1. 1 times X is just X. And then I have 960 divided by 0.12. So I'm going to go off to the side. 960 divided by 0.12. You have to remember that whenever you're dividing by decimals, you can never divide by decimals. So we have to get rid of the decimal here. We're going to have to move this decimal place over 2 places, which means we have to move it over 2 places here and put zeros there. So we're really going 96,000 now divided by 12. Okay, does 12 go into 9? No, it does not. Oops, you can't see that. All right, hold on. Let me zoom out. Sorry about that. Does 12 go into 9? No, it doesn't. Does 12 go into 96? Yes, I'm going to say it goes in, let's think. Okay, 12 times 5 is 60. 12 times 6, I think, is 72. 12 times 8 is 84. 12 times 9 might be 96. Let's go ahead and figure that out. I'm going to do that right here. 12 times 9. So 9 times 2 is 18. Carry the 1. Oh, no, that's 108. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. So that's too much. So let's go ahead and figure out what 9 times 8 is. 9 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16, right? The 6 carry the 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 96. Okay, so it goes in 8 times. 12 goes into 96 8 times. 8 times 12 is 96. There's no remainder. Then we drop that 0 down. 12 can't go into 0, so we drop down another 0. And 12 can't go into 0 either. And then we drop down one more 0, and that can't go in there either. So we end up with 8,000. Okay, which means that's what the total sales were. So the total sales in May was $8,000. All right, so that's how that works. Okay, let's go down to check it out, example 4. And we're just going to go ahead and do this one together. So a sales associate earned $770 in commission in May. If his commission is 7% of sales, how much were his sales in May? So what do we not know? We don't know the sales. So let X equal sales. Okay, so the important pieces of information. A sales associate earns $770 in commission. If his commission, which is $770, is means equals 7%, okay, of means multiplication of the sales, which is the thing we don't know, which is our X, right? So this right here, how much were his sales in May? This is our equation right there. So we are going to have the commission equals or is 7%, but we need to put it in the form of a, so percentage in the form of a decimal. Of means we're going to take that and multiply it by the total sales. So the commission, that is the yellow, the percent here is going to be 7% in the form of a decimal. And then the total sales is the thing we're trying to figure out, which is going to end up being X. So let's just fill in the numbers. The commission is 770 equals the percentage in the form of a decimal. So we have 7%. We need to change that into a decimal. So we're going to move it 2 places to the left. And we put a 0 there. So it's going to be 0.07 multiplied by the total sales, which is X. Now we're trying to get X by itself, so we're going to divide both sides by 0.07. 0.07. And 0.07 divided by 0.07 is 1. 1 times X is just X. So we're just going to go ahead and do this off to the side. 770 divided by 0.07. Now, whenever you're dividing by decimals, you have to remember you can never divide by decimals. So we have to move this decimal place over twice, and then move this over twice as well, and put zeros in the place there. So really what we're doing is we're really going 77,000 divided by 7. Okay? 7 goes into 7 one time. 1 times 7 is 7. We drop that down. 7 goes into 7 one time. 1 times 7 is 7. We drop down this 0 here. 7 doesn't go into 0, so we put a 0 there. We drop down another 0. 7 doesn't go into that 0 either. And then our last 0, 7 doesn't go into that one either. So we end up with 11,000. So how much were his sales in May? His sales in May were $11,000. So there you go. All right. We will see you next time. Goodbye.